Is the battle of lust getting to you? As a Christian man right now, it's so hard to break away from lust. There's so much shame, there's so much condemnation around the topic. And all we see nowadays is people yelling at us to stop doing it, be more disciplined. But they never tell us how, and they act as if they don't struggle with lust anymore. So I'm here to tell you guys, I didn't break away from lust. Jesus broke me away from lust and every single sin you could imagine on the cross. So I didn't stop struggling with lust because of me being more disciplined or me acting as if I didn't struggle with it anymore. I broke away by stopping lying to myself. For a long time, I was the guy that told people I was delivered from lust and I didn't struggle with it anymore, and Jesus delivered me and that they should do the same. But without realizing it, I was putting a burden onto them that they felt abnormal because they didn't feel how I felt. And the funny thing is, the whole time that I was quote unquote not lusting, it wasn't for God. It wasn't because I didn't want to have sex before marriage. It was because of my image. It was because I wanted to look like a good leader. I wanted to look like a good Christian, and all I was doing was trying to get away with as much as I could without losing my image and my persona. The reason lust has so much power over you is because everything is external. You're only staying away from it because of what other people have told you, and you want to feel like you're worthy. And that's what I did. And it caused me to negotiate constantly, fight urges constantly, rush timelines, try to get married young, and it ruined everything in my life, and it was completely exhausting. The moment that I accepted I am lustful, I am these things, and all I want to do is go against God's way and God's design, is the moment that my heart was finally able to see that I wasn't restraining myself from lust and waiting for marriage because of my identity or because of my relationship with God. I was doing it because I was afraid of exposure and not being the person that I made myself out to be. I was constantly tying my salvation and my standing before God with my actions, with how I stayed away from lust, with how I acted as a Christian, and it left me tired, empty, and hopeless. So when I finally accepted, at the end of the day, it's my choice. Jesus paid the penalty for all of my sins. My righteousness is not on the line because it was never about me. Even if I did all the right things, I still would fall short and would need His blood. So when that grace hit my heart, I finally realized, okay, I can fall into lust, I can do this, and I don't have to feel condemned for it. But guess what? I'm not going to do that anymore because Christ made me new when I least deserved it. So I'm going to align with Him because I choose to and I want to. I'm not going to keep doing these things because I have to. So what I realized is I'm not going to be the godly man or the godly husband that I want to be if I'm doing everything for external circumstances and to look holy. I started to realize that I can't be that godly man, but I can be through Christ. And I realized, okay, I'm going to walk by faith and not by sight now. And what I mean by that is my lustful thoughts, my lustful emotions, they may still be there and they probably will still be there. But I'm not going to negotiate with that anymore because God's word makes it clear that I'm a new creation. So that old Luke that did struggle with lust, that did do all those things, he is gone and he's alive in God through Christ now. So I'm going to align with that identity because that's the truth, and that's going to lead me to an abundant life. That's going to lead me to a life worth living and leading the people around me that I love. I finally saw the struggle was never lust. I was so hyper fixated on cutting the lust out of my life. Why? Because it was tied to myself still. I only wanted to cut the lust out because it made me feel better. But the moment that I realized lust is just a symptom of a deeper issue, and that deeper issue is trusting myself, that's a part of a sinful nature. So when I accepted apart from Jesus I can do nothing, and that's truly real at face value, is when I stopped listening to my thoughts and what I thought, and I started just accepting what God says about me. So at the end of the day, it has to flow from love, and it has to be your choice. You have to know that no matter what, your standing before God is not in jeopardy because of what Jesus has already done for you. And that heart posture right there is going to produce love for God. It's going to produce a heart that makes you go, I don't want to go against Him. I don't want to rebel against God because all I am is a lustful person, but He died for me and He saved me, and God forsook His only Son for me. And He gave me a new identity. So I don't have to keep living this way. I'm going to live in His design when I least deserved it.